بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Tonight, بإذن تعالى, we go over this time, September of October 2003, which is 21st of Sha'ban. So Ramadan is not far off now. 21st of Sha'ban. So Ramadan is close. 1424 after Hijrah. The monumental work, we go over the monumental work, the explanation of Aqidah Wasittiyah by Shar Abdullah Muhammad bin Salih al-Taymiyyah rahimahullah rahmatun wasi'ah. So totally different. We have another doctor in the hospital. So while we're waiting, we'll go over we'll ask questions regarding what we covered before. And you should be expecting this because we talked about this. Islam was not done without warning. First of all, we want someone to mention to us the four matters we must believe in regarding Allah, Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. I'm going to ask you to say some of that in English also. Uluhiyyah. The fact that He alone should be worshipped. So those four matters that we must believe in regarding Allah Ta'ala. Who else has it? Fadl. Okay. The Uluhiyyah and Rububiyyah are what? And the Sabur. Say. Say. القرنين. What? Rububiyyah, what? Agree with that? Allah is the one who everyone depends on. It's an aspect of Rububiyyah. But when we talk about Rububiyyah, we don't mention that first. We mention first that He's the Lord. And in believing that He's the Lord, there's three qualities that come to our mind, right? He created, Tadbir, wal Mulk. So there's no doubt all the creatures need Him, but this could also be from His Asma wa Sifat. This is the meaning of the name As-Samad, right? So we want to stick to the text and stick to these mustalihat, these terminologies that we have. Because if we mix up on the terminologies and the definitions, we'll keep messing up, you see. We need something sound and fixed. The four matters, Allah Zarafikum, of evidence that He's using for the existence of Allah Ta'ala. Jayyid. And read the census and the observation. Jayyid. MashaAllah, knocked it out of the ballpark. Hakada. You got them? I don't know if you attended last time, but these four matters is the manner in which we prove or use as evidence for the existence of Allah Ta'ala. Give me an evidence from The fitrah that Allah Ta'ala exists. Yeah, but we didn't use that. No. That's more aql than fitrah. The fitrah was what? That he said that he took them from the lines of Adam. And what happened? He made them witness that. Hiss. What is from observation and from our senses that proves. We brought the story of Abu Hanifa, Nu'man ibn Thabit. Give it another shot. It's wares. A ship that goes from port to port with no, as they call them, pilot on board or captain that drives it or whatever. And that things are loaded and unloaded. And it's full of all types of materials. And it travels from port to port and then goes back to where it came from. Without any crew or people on there to load anything. And without any driver or pilot or whatever. What did they say to him when Abu Hanifa said he was thinking about this? Say he was mad. And what was Abu Hanifa's response? Yeah, like someone who sees the sky and the moon and the stars and the universe. That's more outrageous to say that the stars and the universe and all this existence exists without Allah Ta'ala being the one who created. Another example you used was the ayat in Surah Al-Tur. Were they created from nothing or are they themselves? Are they the creator? So one or two things, right? Either individual made himself or he came pretense. This happened to be here. And both of them are batil. Both of them are false. So therefore it leads to one fact that can never be denied, and that is that Allah Ta'ala is a Khaliq. Jubair ibn Mut'im, the Sahabi who heard that ayah, his heart was about to fly when he heard it. And were they created from nothing, or did they create themselves? They know that something, as the Bedouin Arab said, the droppings of a cow prove that a cow was here. And the people walking away from something, their traces that they leave prove that they're there. Does not the heavens that have all these clouds and the ocean that have all these waves not in fact show that the creator of the universe exists? So this is the mano, fitra, aqlan. Aqlan intellectually is that nothing can come into existence from nothing. It being nothing cannot therefore after that being nothing all of a sudden be a creator. Not having no existence whatsoever, not having sight, not having hearing, not having ability, not having power, and then suddenly comes from no existence to total power. No, never happens like that. That which is non-existent has to have someone who brings it into existence. No doubt about it. And then that which was nothing, right, was not in existence and brought in existence, therefore did not create itself. Could not have created itself. It was non-existent and then brought into existence. So how in the world could it create itself? This is what you call it, a dalil aqliyan, an evidential reasoning that cannot be ran away from. No one can run away from that. No one can run away from that. It is a strong argument. So fitra we took. Hiss, the senses and observation. And aqlan we took. Shara'an, any ayah you want to use, showing that Allah Ta'ala is the creator, showing that Allah Ta'ala exists, showing that Allah Ta'ala is the Lord and that He created everything and brought everything into existence. Anything from the Sunnah that shows that, like the arrow, the people were brought up on the fitrah and this type of thing. The ahadith that indicate that first it was Allah Ta'ala when one Prophet asked the companions, was asked by the companions, Amr ibn As, I think, or others, what was the beginning situation? He said there was Allah and nothing else. Right? Then Allah created this, and then Allah created that, and like that. All right. Stay on it, inshaAllah ta'ala. We say memorize it. We say have some resolve regarding this issue. Study it. Go over it. Relay it to your children. Have them memorize it. Everyone in the household should know Tawheed. Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah. Tawheed al-Sifat. And not just knowing it like it's the dead language of the Latins or something. And then when you ask them to break it down, they don't know what they just said about their mouths. No, they know its meaning. They know what it means when they say Allah Ta'ala is Lord. When they say Allah Ta'ala is the Master, the Controller, the Giver of life, Giver of death. All that refers to His Rububiyyah. And that Allah Ta'ala has the best names, the most highest qualities, and is unique and nothing similar to Him. Right? All that is Asma Sifat. And that Allah Ta'ala alone should be worshipped. No one should be called upon or prayed to or submitted to, hoped in, trusted upon, depended upon, except Allah Ta'ala. And that is Uluhiyyah or Al-Ibadah. Today, we take the statement of Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, wa malaikatuhu. Because what we've taken is what? After he brings the ayah about this deen being superior and dominant over everything, then he says, amma ba'd, right? This is the belief. This is the belief of the what? Firqata Naji'ah, the saved sect. Ta'ifat Mansurah, right? And they are Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. And it is that they believe in Allah. We took that briefly, and he'll go in some more, because the whole book is dealing with a particular aspect of belief in Allah. For the most part, the belief in the names and qualities of Allah properly. Wa malaikatuhu, and His angels. Okay, pay attention. Al-malaikatu jam. Al-malaika is a plural. Jam malak. Malak. Wasl malak, the original or the essence of malak is ma'lak. لأنه من الألوكة. It's from aluka. And aluka in the Arabic language means الرسالة, message or messengers. Malak or al-aluka, the last one you want. The jam is malaika. Its root is malak. Ma'alak. لأنه من aluka. وعلوكا in language is الرسالة, the message. Did you know that? You knew that? Pay attention, Allah barafikum. He has to deliver for this. He doesn't just pull it out of his hat. قال الله تعالى, Allah says in Surah Al-Fatir, جَعِلِ الْمَلَائِكَةِ, He has made the angels رُسُولًا, messengers. And the word malaika means messenger in this respect. أُولِي أَجْنِحَةٍ مَثْنَى, possessing wings, 2, 3, or 4. Right? Surah Al-Fatir, verse 1. So now you know that the malaika means angels. Right? Angels? Angels means messenger. Which one? Malaika, the angels, but the name of the root word is messengers. Put it that way. We're not going to say it doesn't mean angels at all. What will we be calling them then? He's talking about lughatan in the language, what it means. The root word of angels is that they are, or the root source of the angels are, they are the messengers. Right? فالملائكة, the angels, عالم غيبي, is the world of the unseen. They are an entity unto themselves of the unseen. خلقهم الله, Allah Azza wa Jal created them min nur, from light. Allah created them from light. وَجَعَلَهُمْ, and He made them تَائِعِينَ لَهُ, totally, absolutely obedient to Him. مُتَذَلِّلِينَ لَهُ, totally and absolutely submissive to Him. وَلَكُلِّ مِنْهُمْ وَذَائِفٌ, for every angel there is a position. There is a job description that he has. there is a duty that he must do. This is in Arabic, it's known as wada'if or wadifa. Someone says, your wadifa, what's your wadifa? Well, I'm a plumber. What's your wadifa? I'm this. Yeah? The malaika, the angels, all of them, likulli minhum. For every one of them is a wadifa, a duty he has to do, a purpose. وَنَعْلَمْ مِنْ وَذَائِفِهِ. Some of them we don't know their purpose or their duty or their job description. But those who we know what they are supposed to do, that we've been informed from Kitab and from Sunnah what they're supposed to do and what their job description is and what their duty is, are the following. Awalan, first, Jibreel. Jibreel. And they say sometimes Jibra'il, and he's known in the English word as Gabriel. Right? Jibreel. His wadifa, his position, his duty, is he's in charge of, there's a spider right there, see him? Going up. He's in charge of revelation. Revelation. He comes from Allah Ta'ala, sent by Allah Ta'ala to the messengers. That's who? Jibreel. You gotta memorize these. ثانيا, secondly, Israfil. Israfil. Israfil is in charge of blowing. You have to say something. What were you about to say before let me not interrupt you. Oh, okay. Don't want to interrupt you. Blowing the horn. For the day of judgment. Also, along with that, he is one of the ones who carries the arsh. This is who? Israfil. Thalithan, thirdly, Mikail. You want to speak? Oh, okay. Mikail. He is in charge of what? Rain and vegetation. The vegetation that comes from the earth. Qatar wal-nibat. The growing of vegetation and the rain. How these three, all of them are entrusted with matters dealing with life. Hayat. Life. But Jibreel brings the revelation. And that gives life to the what? Hearts. And Mikael brings the rain and vegetation. And that gives life to the earth. And Israfil blows the Israfil blows the trumpet. The brothers are interfering with me now. Lahza. Israfil blows the horn, which gives life to the bodies on the day of judgment. Israfil, na'am. Huh? What? This is 3. Yeah. We're just talking about 3 now. We haven't got to the 4th one. He's just trying to say that Jibreel and Israfil and Mikael are in charge of matters dealing with life. Jibreel brings the revelation, so that's life to the what? The heart. Israfil blows, Mikael, because he does it in a different order now. Mikael brings rain and vegetation, so that brings life to the what? The earth. And Israfil blows the trumpet, or the horn, we should call it, qarn, on the day of judgment, or sur, is a better way to say it, sur, sur, blows into the horn on the day of judgment, and that brings life back to the bodies on the day of resurrection. ولهذا, because of this, كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, the Prophet عليه السلام, used to seek nearness to Allah in his dua, seek a means of making his dua more acceptable through tawassul. And most of you know something about tawassul. There's a nice book on it, translated by Abu Talha, which is Sheikh Nasser's book on tawassul. For some it was above their heads. Others they had to take their time with it. For some they can understand it immediately, but tawassul has understood amongst those who are from the sunnah, and tawassul has understood by those amongst Ahlul Bidah. But here it means that he is trying to seek nearness to Allah Ta'ala and get his dua accepted by Allah Ta'ala. He will use what quality of Allah Ta'ala to get this dua accepted and to get closest to Allah? Prophet Islam will use his rububiyyah, the lordship of Allah Ta'ala, the rububiyyah of Allah. He will use his rububiyyah, his meaning Allah, Allah's rububiyyah, because the Prophet has no share in it whatsoever. Fi dua al-istiftah, the opening dua, fi salat al-layl, in the night prayer. Most of you probably know it. It says, Allahumma, O Allah, Rabb, Lord of Jibra'il, Gabriel, Jibril, wa Mika'il, wa Israfil. So he's talking about what? Allah's lordship over who? Jibra'il, Mika'il, and Israfil. Fatir samawati wal ard, creator of the heavens and the earth. Alim al-ghayb wa shahada, nor of the seen and unseen, nor of the seen and that which is witness, is a better way to say it. Anta tahkum bayna ibadik, you judge between your servants. Fima kanu fihi yakhtalifun, in matters in which they differ. Ihdini, guide me, lima ikhtalifa fihi min al-haqq bi'idhnik, guide me to that which they differ about. Guide me to the truth of that which they differ about. إِنَّكَ تَهْدِي مَنْ تَشَاءُ إِلَى الصِّرَاطِ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. Verily, guide who you will to the straight path. And this dua, which is related by Muslim in his book, The Prayer of the Travelers, chapter, the dua that is made in the night prayer and the qiyam, or while standing in the night prayer. This dua is something we tell the brothers when they can't understand a fiqh matter or tafsir matter, and the scholars are different. Before you run here and there, raise your hands, make dua to Allah Ta'ala. O Allah, Lord of Jibra'il, Mika'il, and Israfil, and creator of the heavens and the earth, nor of the seen of that which is unseen and that which is witness, or the seen and unseen. You judge between your servants and that which they differ. Guide me to the truth about which they are differing. Verily you guide to who you will to a straight path. And that could be how the dua before anything else. If you want to know what is the rajah, what is correct over the marjuh, that which is incorrect, what is the most closest to what is the haqq, this should be the remedy that is used. Have a dua, this invocation, that the Prophet ﷺ used to say in his night prayer as a means and seeking nearness to Allah through mentioning the lordship of Allah. This is the dua that he used to say. So this told us that Mika'il, Israfil, and Jibra'il, this was their names, and this is their position, and this is what the Prophet ﷺ used to mention them in this regard. كذلك also, we know that some of them are in charge of taking the souls of Bani Adam, the souls of the children of Adam. Or, now listen how he says this. Some of them are in charge of taking the souls of the children of Adam, or taking the souls of everything that possesses a soul. He says some of them. Malik al-Maut, the angel of death, and his supporters or his helpers, and he is not to be called Azra'il, like many of the books call him. That is incorrect. You know, brothers say, well, who are the angels? Well, yeah, the four main ones we know. Jibreel, Mika'il, Israfil, and Azra'il. No, that is not his name. As the Sheikh says here, Muhammad Salih al-Faymain, لأنه لم يثبت. It's not affirmed. No evidence for that the Prophet ﷺ ever gave him, the angel of death, that name. Those books that are around here, Spectacle of Death, and all these other type of books that use those type of names, should be disregarded. And we're dealing with that issue in the Monday lectures about the books of Ahlul Bidah and leaving them alone and destroying them, or leaving them alone and not looking at them, and if you get your hands on them to destroy them, like that. قال تعالى, listen to these following 3 ayat. حتى إذا جاء أحدكم الموت, until death comes to one of them. توفته, his soul is taken. رسولنا, by our messengers. وَهُمْ لَا يُفَرِّطُونَ, and they are not excessive, or they do not slacken, one or the other. Tafrit here or ifrat, it's meant, one or the other. Al-An'am verse 61. وَقَالَ تَعَالَى, and Allah the Exalted said, قُلْ يَتَوَافَاكُمْ مَلَكَ الْمَوْتِ, it is Malik al-Maut who takes your souls. الَّذِي وُكِّلَ بِكُمْ, the one who is in charge of that, in charge of you in that regard. First ayah said what? They. رُسُولُنَا, our messengers. Messengers mean here what? Angels. Alright? They take the souls. The next verse says, Malik al-Maut, the angel of death, who is in charge of you take your soul. The first one was Surah An'am verse 61, the second one was Surah Sajdah verse 11. The last verse, Surah Zumar verse 42 says, Allah is the one, يَتَوَفَّى الْأَنفُسَ, who takes the souls, حِينَ مَوْتِهَا, at the time of its death. Three different things, right? Sheikh will clear it up for you. No problem. Watch him. Watch Sheikh al-Islam clear it up for you. لا منافى بين هذه verse 42. لا منافى بين هذه آيات الثلاث. There is absolutely no contradiction between these three verses. فإن الملائكة, very the angels, take the soul. تقبل الروح. And that is that the angel of death, when he takes out the soul from the body, he will have angels surrounding him. If the man is from Ahl al-Jannah, he'll have for him a hunut, or covering for Ahl al-Jannah, a hunut min al-Jannah. And a hunut can be described as different things, so I'll leave it for right now. وَكَفٍ min al-Jannah, a covering from Jannah. وَيَأْخُذُونَ هَذِهِ الرُّوحُ الطَّيِّبَةِ. Some hadith say that Malik al-Maut, the angel of death, takes the soul, and the angels don't leave him with it. They take it right out of his hand. Right? They don't leave him to hold the soul. They take it right out of his hand. Alright? And they take the ruh al-tayyibah. May Allah make all of our arwah tayyib, all of our arwah good souls, good souls. يَتَعَلُونَ فِي هَذَا الْكَفْنِ, put it in this nice cloth. وَيَسْعَدُونَ بِهَا إِلَى اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ, taking it all the way up to Allah Azza wa Jal. حَتَّى تَكِفْ بَيْنِ يَدَيْ اللَّهِ, until it stops in front of Allah. ثُمَّ يَقُولُ, then Allah says, write my servant here, this abdi, فِي عِلِّيِّينَ, to be amongst the highest. وَعِيدُهُ إِلَى الْأَرْضِ, but return him now to what? The earth. فَتَرْجَى الرُّوحِ إِلَى الْجَسَدِ, then the soul go back to the body, من أجل اختبار, for examination, for the test. And what is the test? Man Rabbuk, who is your Lord? وما دينك, what is your deen? ومن نبيك, who is your prophet? وإن كان الميت غير مؤمن والعياذ بالله, and if the one who is dying is not a believer, and we seek refuge in Allah from that, then the angels come down with a kafan, a garment from hellfire, and a hunut from hellfire. They take the soul and place the soul in this horrible cloth. Then they go to it to the heavens, but the heavens will be locked. And so that soul will be thrown back to the earth. And that is the statement of Allah Azza wa Jal in Surah Hajj, verse 31. وَمَنْ يُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ, and he will strike partners to Allah. فَكَأَنَّمَا خَرَّ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ, is as he's been thrown from the heavens. فَتَقْتَفَهُ الطَّيْرُ, and then the birds come and take him. أو تحوي به ريح, or strong wind comes to take him. في مكان صحيح, to a very far place. ثم يقول الله, then Allah says, write my servant among the lowest, the Sijjeen. This is related by Ahmad and Abu Dawud in Kitab al-Sunnah, and chapter of those who are the questions of the grave, and Hakim. And it's sahih based upon the conditions of Bukhari and Muslim. And Zahabi agreed upon that when Hakim said it, and Haythami has brought it. Now, Rahu Ahmad, Rijal Sahih, the men who relate are the men of the Sahih. Now, Nas'al Allah al-Afiyah. Ha'ulai, bring these three ayahs together, akhi. Pay attention. Haulai, these are all in charge of taking the soul. These angels are charged of taking the soul from who? From Malik al-Maut, from the angel of death. Well, Malik al-Maut, the angel of death, he's the one who takes the soul directly from the person, right? Or from that one who possesses the soul. So therefore, there's no contradiction. And the one who ordered all of that is Allah. So in reality, he is the one who what? Takes the soul. Shaykh al-Islam cleared it up or he didn't clear it up? Bala, he cleared it up. وَمِنْهُمْ مَلَائِكَةٌ, and amongst them are angels, سَيَّاحُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ, who go around the earth looking for the circles of remembrance of Allah. Circles of ilm. Circles of kitab and sunnah. Don't let your mind go nowhere else. He ain't talking about ha, 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 ha. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. He's not talking about that. Those are circles for the shayateen. He's talking about circles of the remembrance of Allah Ta'ala upon kitab and upon sunnah, upon way of salaf. They go looking for these circles. If they find a circle, and this is the Sheikh's word, halqat al-ilm, a circle of knowledge and remembrance, jalasu, they sit. This is related by Bukhari in his book Ad-Da'awat, chapter, the virtue of those who remember Allah, real virtue. Not like the Tablighi book, virtues of zakat, virtues of fasting, virtues of this, and there's nothing virtuous in the book. Well, Muslim Kitab al-Da'awat, Muslim in his book of Da'awat, invocation, and the virtues of sitting in places for remembrance of Allah. Tabaraka wa ta'ala. So those are malaika what? Let's count them now. We got, anybody can start. Anybody. Jibril, Israfil, Mikael. Then we got, and who was them? Malaika. Jayyid. Then we got what? Sayyahun. Sayyahun, the ones who go around the earth looking for circles of knowledge and remembrance of Allah. When they find it, they sit. Allahu Akbar. كذلك هناك ملائكة. There are angels. يكتبون أعمال الإنسان, writing the actions down of every individual. وَإِنَّ عَلَيْكُمْ لَحَافِظِينَ, and upon you verily are those who write and preserve what you do. كِرَامًا كَاتِبِينَ, noble writers. يَعْلَمُونَ مَا تَفْعَلُونَ, they know exactly what you do. Surah Al-Infitar, verse 10 to 12. Angels who write down what we do. One on the right and one on the left. It comes in some tafsir. Some call him Raqib and Atid based upon the next ayah. مَا يَلْفِثُ مِنْ قَوْلٍ لَدَيْهِ رَقِيبٌ عَتِيدٌ. They do not say one word except there is someone who is observant and aware of them writing down what they're doing. Some call it that from this ayah, but Allahu Ta'ala how sound that is. And Allahu A'lam why you would pick up on that. No, I'm picking with you. No, but anyway, مَا يَلْفِظُ مِنْ قَوْلٍ إِلَّا لَدَيْهِ رَقِيبٌ عَتِيدٌ. This is Surah Al-Qaf, verse 18. Is the ayah that proves that there are angels that write down what every individual does. Look how the Salaf took this seriously. See, I believe in malaika is sort of like this side type issue. We think about it. We think more about jinn than we do malaika. There'll be more about jinn than malaika. Jinn, all the time. But when it comes to malaika, don't know much about them at all. Don't know nothing about them. And they are the friends of the believers. They are those who seek forgiveness for the believers. There are those who look out for the believer. There are those who help and support the believer. Now, this is how the Salaf took it. First, it is stated that Abu Abdullah is Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. It was said to him, someone came to him, and Imam Ahmad was in his sickness, probably close to his death, and he would make that sound that sick people make. the een. It's called in Arabic this yu'in. That is sound that sick people make, right? Right? Everyone knows that sound. فَقَالَ لَهُ, it was said to him, يَا أَبَا عَبْدَ اللَّهِ, O Abu Abdullah, وَقَدْ قَالَ طَاوُوسٌ, verily Taawus is one of the Salaf, one of the great imams of the Salaf. Taawus is the one who said to his son, oh my son, put your fingers in your ear. The Muqtadi was trying to talk to him. For the hearts are weak. Put your fingers in your ears, O son. Right? This is Taawus. Alaykum salam. He said, verily angels write down even this noise that the sick person makes. Huh? Because Allah said, Ma yalfizu. The word is he does not even enunciate, does not even pronounce a word, does not express a letter. Huh? Except min qawlin illa ladayhi raqibun, except there is a watcher who is writing down what he's saying. Right? So when he heard this, Abu Abdullah, what you think? He said, that's Taawus' opinion. So what? No, that was not his motive. His position was that he became patient and he stopped making the sound that sick people make. Based upon this ayah. Right? Because everything is written. Because everything is written. Because everything is written. So, this mean ma yalfithu min qawlin is zaida in Arabic. It's an addition in Arabic language to confirm the generality of it. Anything that is stated. Huh? Ayyi qawl taquluhu. Whatever statement a person makes. Yaktub will be written. And he will be rewarded either good if it's good or bad if it's bad. Depending on what statement he made. Now you know if a person has iman in that. Strong iman with that. This situation will be really together. وَمِنْهُمْ أَيْدٍ الْمَلَائِكَةِ, angels who protect and are around and surround the children of Adam night and day. لَهُمْ مُعَقِّبَاتٌ, and there are those who are around them in بَيْنِ يَدَيْهِ, from in front of them, وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِ, and from in back of him. يَحْفَظُونَهُ, they protect him. مِنْ أَمْرِ اللَّهِ, from the matter of Allah, until Allah decides that this thing will happen to him. Right? Protect him from a brick falling. Protect him from that. Protect him from that. In front of him, behind him. Until Allah decides that that which he wants to take place would take place. Surah Al-Ra'd, verse 11. And amongst them are the Malaika. Ruqa'a. It's in Ruku, brother. And when we think of the Malaika, don't think that we're talking about a small creature. You know the narration. The Malaika from the earlobe to his shoulder is what? Some narrations say 70 years or more of traveling. Big creature. Alright? Malaika, don't think we're talking about a small number. But we will see shortly when the Shaykh continues on with his Shar, his explanation, that they are numerous. Cannot be estimated. Cannot be calculated. Cannot be counted. Malaika, what is their job? You got the ones before, it's the Aqibun, who are in front and behind Bani Adam to protect them. You got the ones who go around. You got the ones who write everything. Right? You got the main four that we mentioned before. These angels are just in ruku. Some angels, that's all they do. Yarqa'oon. In ruku. Like a salam. Some angels just in sajda. Just in sajda for Allah ta'ala. Fi sama, in the heavens. Qala Nabi alayhi salam. The heavens is about to shake. About to split. وَحَقٍّ لَهَا, and it has a right to. The Arabic word is atat as-sama, and it comes from sarir al-rahl, where the man puts on his riding animal. That if it's too heavy, then it tends to make a sound because of the heaviness of that which is being carried upon it. he used this expression to mean that's what the heavens are sounding like. Or that's what the heavens condition is. فَيَقُولُ Rasul, it has a right for that. Because there's no space greater than the space of 4 fingers. 4 fingers. Except there's an angel standing in worship to Allah, or in ruku to Allah, or in sajda to Allah. You got it? Space of 4 fingers all throughout the heavens. Angel in ruku, an angel standing, and an angel in sajda. So how much wide and spacious is the heavens, and how much malaika there must be, angels there must be. This is laid by Ahmad Tirmidhi, Kitab al-Zuhd, the book of the abstinence. وبعد قول صلى الله عليه وسلم لو تعلمون ما علم لضحكتم قليلا. Under the title, the Prophet said, if you knew what I knew, you would have laughed little. Ibn Majah, Kitab al-Zuhd, and Ibn Majah brought in Kitab al-Zuhd also, chapter grief and crying. ولهذا, because of this, قال رسول عليه السلام في بيت المعمور. Prophet said regarding Bayt al-Ma'mur, as you all know, Bayt al-Ma'mur is a house like the Kaaba, over the Kaaba in the heavens. Bayt al-Ma'mur. The one that the Prophet passed by in his laylatul to Mi'raj, in his ascension. قال يطوف به. One there it says they go around it. Or يدخله, or they enter it. Listen to this. 70,000 malak. 70,000 angels. كل يوم. Every day. And they are not able to get back to it. إليه آخم عليهم. يعني والمعنى كل يوم يأتي إليه 70,000 ملك. Every day 70 angels, other than the ones that came the day before, and they will never ever be able to get back to it. And it's a series, a chain. Say it's a line. 70,000 come, 70,000 more, 70,000 more, so that 70,000 that preceded can never get back again. يأتي من الآخرون غير من سبق. The ones who come later are other than the ones before. وهذا يدل على كثرة الملائكة. This shows the great amount of the angels. ولهذا قال الله تعالى, because of this Allah exalted said, وما يعلم جنود ربك إلا هو. And no one knows the amount of the soldiers of his Lord except him. Allah Ta'ala, Surah Mudaththir, verse 31. And then there are angels that are in charge of the Jannah. May Allah makes us amongst the people of Jannah. And then there are angels in charge of the hellfire. May Allah protect us from the hellfire. فَخَازِنَ النَّارِ, the guard over the hellfire, his name is Malik. The people of hellfire would say, Ya Maliku, O Malik, لِيَقْضِي عَلَيْنَا رَبُّكَ. Have our Lord do away with us. Have our Lord finish us. Surah Zukhruf, verse 77. يعني لِيُحْلِكَنَا وَيُمِتَنَا. And he calls us to go away, to die, to be finished. For whom يدعون Allah. They call upon Allah to cause them to die. لَأَنَّهُمْ فِي عَذَابٍ لَا يَصْبِرُ. Because they are in a punishment that they cannot have patience upon. فَيَقُولُ, Allah will say, إِنَّكُمْ مَاكِثُونَ. Verily forever you will stay. Surah Zukhruf, verse 77. ثُمَّ يُقَالَ لَهُمْ. Then we say to them, لَقَدْ جَئْنَاكُمْ بِالْحَقِّ. Verily we came to you with the truth. وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَكُمْ لِلْحَقِّ كَارِهُونَ. But the majority of you, when it comes to the truth, you dislike it. You hate it. Surah Zukhruf, verse 77. Al-Muhim, what is important is that it is obligatory upon us to believe in the malaika. He who doesn't believe in the malaika is a kafir. He who doesn't believe in the angels is a kafir. وَكَيْفَ إِيمَانْ بِالْمَلَائِكَةِ. How do we believe in the malaika? Nu'min, we believe that they have more knowledge about Allah, Ta'ala, have more understanding regarding that matter, so they fear Allah Ta'ala more. They fear Allah Ta'ala more. They worship Allah Ta'ala consistently and they worship Allah Ta'ala without any delay, without any hesitation, without any getting bored or whatever the case would be, because they have more knowledge regarding Allah. The more knowledge we would have regarding Allah, the more of a worshiper we would be. The more fear we would have, the more righteous we would be. Naam. The next is and belief in his books. And then we have belief in the messengers and belief in that which takes place after death, and belief or the resurrection after death, and belief in the decree. Shortly we will have covered the 6 fundamentals of Iman, and then we will go on to the rest of the book, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. But I will be asking questions, insha'Allah ta'ala, regarding Malaika. And do you tell your children about the Malaika? Your children know Jibreel and Israfil, Mikael, Malak al-Maut. Your children know the bodies, bid-dalil, by the proof. Qawlullah ta'ala, the statement of Allah, جَعِلَ الْمَلَائِكَةِ رُسُلًا. He made the angels messengers. Then he says, أُولِي أَجْنِحَةً, possessor of wings. They have wings. 5 to the first one. And the Prophet ﷺ saw Jibreel in his real form. And he had 600 wings that were filling the horizon. This is to go against those who say they're just spirits. You know, the angels are just spirits. They have physical bodies. Lahum ajsad. You have to, and your iman, your belief in the malaika will not be correct unless you believe that. It's unfortunate that many Muslims get their belief in malaika from these kuffar who know nothing about malaika and who have no authentic place to get their understanding and belief regarding malaika. It's all mixed up with mythology and everything else. And you have some Muslims who have the audacity to read some of that. If someone says, هَلْ لَهُمْ عَقُولٌ, do they have intelligence? I'm not going to ask because I don't want to embarrass nobody. I'm going to leave that like that. Listen to what the Sheikh says. We'll say to him, هَلْ لَكَ أَقْلٌ, do you have intelligence? مَا يَفْعَلْ هَذَا إِلَّا رَجُلٌ مَجْنُونٌ. No one would ask him whether or not the angels have intelligence except a person who's majnoon, who's crazy. فَقَدْ قَالَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى, for Allah the Exalted has stated, لَا يَعْصُونَ اللَّهَ مَا أَمْرَهُم. They don't disobey Allah whatever He orders them. وَيَفْعَلُونَ مَا يُؤْمَرُونَ, but they do whatever He orders, carry out whatever He orders. هَلْ يُثْنِي عَلَيْهِ, will He praise them? هَذَا this great praising. وَلَيْسَ لَهُمْ عُقُولٌ, and they don't have no intellect, no minds, no understanding. Actually, he said uqul, and I'll leave it at that because minds could. The angels are supporters of the believers, and they make istighfar to seek forgiveness of Allah for the believers. Do they know that there's angels who write down what they do? Do they know that there's angels, Munkar wa Nakir, who will ask the questions in the grave? Where is their belief regarding the angels, or is it something far removed from them that is never discussed in the house, never talked about? You know, this is an important Aqidah issue. Whenever you hear the word Aqidah, understand that the issue is dangerous. The issue is serious. The issue isn't something that you will die upon and be resurrected upon. And if it's correct, then you go to the correct place. If it's incorrect, then you go to the incorrect place. This is something that must be understood. And unless we take this Aqidah and carry it, and tell it to others, and memorize it, and study it, and make sure everyone knows it, then we're not benefiting ourselves or benefiting others, and it's not going to be left as a legacy amongst us and our families, and they're not going to know who the angels is. Right now, bring your children and ask them, you know about Jibreel, or you know about Israfil. Who's Israfil? It's a shame that many of our children know the existence of a Santa Claus and don't know about the angels. Hakeda, ghurba, strangeness of Islam. Islam originated as something strange and go back to its prior position strange. I mean, it's something that is strange even with those who connect themselves to it. It's not strange that it's strange to the kuffar. And strange to the mushriks, right? Strange to Yahud, strange to the Nasara. How in the world could it be strange with Ahlul Sunnah and the people who are Salaf? Because we're not on our job and we haven't given it the importance. We think something else is more important than this Aqidah. We think something else is more important than this Aqidah. Brothers, this Aqidah is what the Sahaba lived and died upon. Brothers, heads were lost. Heads went in the wind, Salim. Sword on the neck and a head up in the sky. Blood everywhere, and why? I shouldn't start that. Aqidah. Aqidah. Huh? As Muhammad Aman al-Jami' rahimahullah was saying on his deathbed, that sheikh, that great sheikh from Ethiopia who taught in the Masjid of the Prophet ﷺ for 40 or 50 years, he was saying, according to his son, Aqidah. 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 We got to give it the importance that it has. Hada wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad. And anybody, inshallah ta'ala, questions, tafaddal. Brothers in Atlanta, if you have a question, put it forward. Usually on these type of cities, we don't have questions for some reason. You're going to ask on his behalf. I can ask on you. I can ask on your own. Well, he was had a question earlier. What was the angel's name that breathed the soul into the instrument? I don't know. Yeah, and there may be some narrations that talk about it. Yeah, but I mean, it's the angel that's responsible for that. The Qayyim goes in great detail regarding the issue of the angels. But this is why the Sheikh said there are those we know their names and their duties. Then there are those we know their duties and we have no names for them. Right? So like that. There's no doubt the angel is put in charge of that. And to write down whether the servant will be fortunate or unfortunate. Like that. No, all of that. It shows the inayah, concerns that Allah Ta'ala had with the creatures before they even come to existence. And His mercy upon the people in general. Not just, it's just not us. Somebody had to blow a ruh into a kafir. Kafirs are also protected from harm. Until such time as that harm that Allah Ta'ala decrees that must hit them. Right? ايش عندكم؟ بس لحظة, wait a minute. I'm telling the brother on the end to wait a minute. Yeah, in Surah Al-Baqarah. We didn't go, no, he didn't go into that. It's not a full dars on everything dealing with the angels. It's just a mu'ajaz, a bridge version of our Aqidah in this regard. There's no confusion regarding that. That was regarding Shaitan, who was a jinn amongst the angels. He wasn't an angel. But since the khitab, the address was to him, he is supposed to implement it also. I mean, what misunderstanding is there? Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. What about it?
That aspect of that, as far as when you say that Allah says that they don't disobey Him. So a person will be
there was no disobedience there. Where's the disobedience in that ayah? No disobedience. No, question is to disobey? No. Allah barak fikum. Mujahid, right?
That Shaitan was amongst the, Shaitan was one of the angels. That improper Aqidah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a khata. It's a mistake. Yeah. Kabir with this brother. Naam. Faddal. No, the asl of the word is all we're talking about. The asl, the origin of the word. Aluka, which means rusul, risala, which is a message, messengers. So that's what the asl of it means. Just like I said that in the Bukhari, I tell you that the il on the end of it means servant of Allah. So therefore, all of the names, Jibreel, Israfil, all of them mean Abdullah, servant of Allah, because il is a servant of Allah. It's just the asl. I mean, like we said, the Sheikh is always going to give you something lugatan in the language, right? So if somebody asks you, where does the word malaika come from? Even though it means the angels, where's the asl of it? Well, what does it mean in the language? This word malaika, it comes from mala'ak, right? Which comes from al-aluka, which comes from someone, a messenger, right? Language-wise, that's all. Somebody here? Nobody here? Yeah, like I just told you, I mean, it has many meanings. And some say it's the oil that is rubbed up on them. Some say it's the way that the tie that keeps the mouth closed and other things. I mean, that when you use it for a dead person, right? So I said since it has more than one meaning, I'll look it up and see what the proper meaning is. Inshallah ta'ala. Na'am. They call them Munkar wa Nakir. Munkar wa Nakir. Na'am. That's incorrect. You wasn't here? أين كنت؟ قد قلنا هذا. We said this. اتق الله يا رجل. Okay. We said the name Israel is incorrect. You read it in the books like Spectacle of Death and stuff like that, and they call the angel of death Israel, Azrael, like that. It's incorrect. There's not anything firm about it, anything in the authentic Sunnah regarding it, nothing from the Salaf. It's just one of those names that people make for things, and people have come and take it and use it. I remember in elementary teaching of Islam, I think that had it as one of the names. Anybody memorize that? Had one of them. Na'am. Yeah. No, what it was that the ayah says that no one expresses anything except that the angels write it down. The basic meaning of the ayah. So he used to make a sound that the sick people make, when they're in pain. That it's ya'innu, they call it. Even in Arabic, when you hear that, it's aneen. You know how that sound they make. Like misery, type thing. So someone of them said, hey, what are you doing? Tawus, said that, you can't do this because everything you do is written down. Right? Even that. So Imam Ahmad stopped it. And he was patient, even though he was in pain. He was patient because of that tafsir of that ayah by one of the A'immah of the Salaf, Tawus. من يلفظ من قول ما يلفظ من قول. Talaffuz is to express something, pronounce something, to enunciate something. خلاص, you done? You done want that thing in Barbahari's book? Imam Barbahari in the Creed says that for every angel there's an angel with it. To me, that's not as expansive or detailed as saying that the space for the space of each 4 fingers is an angel in ruku and sajda. When you think about how large the sama is, I mean, that rain thing ain't nothing then compared to that. You get my point? 4 fingers, space of 4 fingers, an angel in ruku, an angel in sajda, and an angel in qiyam, standing. All over the heavens, so the heavens is making a sound as if it's cracking. And you know how wide and expansive the heavens is. I mean, there's some narrations about it, like in Kitab Tawheed, in the last section of Kitab Tawheed, in the back of it, by Muhammad Wahab, you'll find him talk about the sama and the difference of heavens and the distance between each heaven and how expansive the heaven is. And for each, I mean, for 4 fingers each for that space, how many malaika? More than just raindrops. Rain is the easy issue. As to whether or not the narration is authentic, obviously he believed it to be authentic by the fact that he put in the book on Aqidah. Allah Ta'ala. And the Salaf I like regarding those type of athar, those narrations, they're not as, harsh up on them in the sense that, if anything, it's more of a commentary on the amount of malaika than anything. And Allah Ta'ala has already said the word that none knows the amount of his soldiers except him. Allah Ta'ala doesn't need anyone or anything, of course. And it doesn't require that amount of angels to do anything. You know, there was an angel who gave a sayha, shout, killed everybody. Everybody was in sajda. Just a shout, imagine that. An angel shouts, and it's all over with. Sent one angel for the people of Lut. Came with his wing, lifted them up so that the inhabitants of the heavens could hear the dogs bark, flipped them over and crushed them. Just one. So what is, subhanAllah, so unimaginable. So unimaginable. And they used to come, and it's in narrations that they come and they help the believers and support the believers. You got proper believers who fulfill the conditions that have to be fulfilled, who have taqwa, who is upon kitab and sunnah and way to salaf salih. You don't have to worry about it. Before the believer hits the kafir, the angel was hitting them first. Now how did that head roll like that? How did it go? I didn't even get to him. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. If we ever take this thing serious, what will happen? And if we're going to take anything serious, it has to be Aqidah. Aqidah. Khair, inshallah. Allah barak feekum. Shay, you have something? Okay, Allah barak feekum. هذا وصلى الله على نبي محمد. Oh, Atlanta brothers. Atlanta. Afwan. Forgot about them. Atlanta. Maybe they forgot about us. Alaykum assalam. It's clear? MashaAllah. Stick to Salafiyya down there. Assalamu alaikum.